Hey guys, so today I am doing the polishes that I wore in March and April. This is the third time that I filmed this video, and I finally just decided that I needed to straighten my hair if I want footage that I'm gonna actually want to put online. I know like some wavy hair purists might be really upset with me for using my flat iron, but I can't do it in videos anymore. I really like how it looks in person, but it just does not translate well to the camera. I just don't have enough hair. My hair is super fine and there's not a lot of it, and it's just not enough for the waves to translate well onto camera. So if it makes you feel better, I'm probably only gonna be straightening my hair for videos, but I just feel 100 times more presentable this way, and I know I'll be happy with the footage and I won't have to film things 2 or 3 times before I actually post them. It's also allergy season, so watch as the makeup disappears off of my nose throughout the video. So I filmed the polishes that I wore in March, didn't get it edited in time, decided at that point that I would just combine the two, and here we are, the polishes that I wore in March and April. So I'm gonna try to do these in some kind of order, but I probably won't remember exactly. The first polish that I wore in March/April is Painted Polish Chasing Rainbows. This is just a white crelly with really fine rainbow glitter. I wanted to wear a white crelly with rainbow glitter. I actually started out with KB Shimmers Clowning Around on, but I put 1 coat of that on and the glitter was just bigger than I wanted at that time. So I ended up pulling this one out. So this is not available right now. This is a pretty old polish. I think I've had this for a few years. But there is one on the Painted Polish website called Funfetti Fandom that is not identical, but it is pretty close. It's a decent, rainbow mix. I would say, I don't know actually, like what shades it's missing. Maybe it is a lot closer than I thought. So that one is on the Painted Polish website, so I will link that down below. If you're interested, this exact one is not available anymore. The next polish that I have is also a painted polish. This one is stamped in Sedona. This is a like medium rosy pink shade. I put this on because it's a 1-coat polish, it's a 1-coat cream, and that's usually my go-to when I need to film and I need something on really quickly. And I like this polish, I just didn't love how it looked on my nails. And I thought it looked pretty good in person, but then in all of the videos that I was editing that I had worn this in, it was like catching my eye how much I didn't like how it looked on my nails. So I don't know if it was just me being really picky or if it's a skin tone thing, because I pulled my swatch up and like when it's just a picture of my hand, it looked okay. But when I was like moving my hands around on camera, I just did not like how this one looked on me. But this one is still, now that I've talked about how much I didn't like it, this one is still available on the Painted Polish website, which like I said is linked down below. Okay, so moving on, I have 2 kind of similar polishes. The first one is an Essie Gel Couture in Glimpse of Glamour. This is a sheer kind of jelly baby pink, which I was just in the mood for something very sheer and very light. And it looked fine in the end. Once I got 3 coats on, it looked pretty good, but it was like kind of a rough journey. I felt like it was going on really streaky and uneven, which I guess is a gamble when you have like a really sheer pink like this. It did turn out fine in the end, but I was struggling through it. Like I had my doubts about how it was gonna actually look when it was done. And of course, if I had it like this close to my face, I could see that there were streaks in it, but I have to remind myself that like no one else is gonna notice that. So that is Essie's Glimpse of Glamour. I was apparently in a mood because right after that I wore Zoya's Joey, which is almost like the opaque version of Glimpse of Glamour. It might be a little bit darker of a pink, but just barely. And this is like a fully opaque 2-coat polish. And I was happy with this one too. I like these colors on my nails. I gravitate towards the same colors over and over again, which is why I've actually been having my husband pick out the colors that I wear lately, just to try to like break me out of my comfort zone and make me wear things that aren't what I would normally wear. We'll get to more of that. I should also mention Google search should be able to find a couple places that have the Essie Gel Couture for sale if you're interested in it, and Zoya's Joey is available on the Zoya website as well, so I will link that down below. The next polish is Pop Beauty's Mint Magic. This one you're probably gonna have a hard time finding. I did look it up a little bit. I found some listings in the UK, but I didn't find anything that looked super reliable in the US. If you want this, you might have to do some searching. If not, there are some decent dupes. Actually, the next polish that I wore is like a close-ish dupe. Not quite, but almost there. Anyway, this is the color that I like to wear. This is my color. I wanted something close to the color of my walls. And this is one of those polishes that I kind of hoard. I don't wear it super often. just because I'm afraid to use it all up, which kind of defeats the purpose. I think it's only like the second or third time that I've worn this, but I really like this color. The next one that I have is Color Club Age of Aquarius. I actually sent a picture of the green Joy-Con on the Animal Crossing Switch to my friend Amanda, whose channel I will link down below, to ask her what color nail polish was that color, because that's what I wanted to wear for Animal Crossing launch day. You'd think I would have worn like one of my own Animal Crossing polishes, but no, that's not how my brain works. So she came back with Pop Beauty's Mint Magic, which I had already worn, but was really close. And then the second time she came back, it was with Color Club Age of Aquarius, which was a pretty close match. I think the actual color of that Joy-Con is somewhere in between Mint Magic and Age of Aquarius, but this was a pretty close one. So this was my Animal Crossing launch day polish. Looking at like the Google shopping thing here in front of me, it looks like this is for sale on places like eBay and Head to Toe Beauty. I don't see anything about it being available directly from Color Club. Probably other places as well, so you might have to do a little bit of searching, but it shouldn't be too hard to find this one. The last polish that I wore, or the last manicure that I wore in the month of April, I really, really, really loved this, and it shipped in like 12 hours, and it was so many layers, but I really liked it. So I wanted to wear this Radioactive shade by Colors by Llarowe. This is not available anymore as far as I know. It's a lime green with like a pinky gold shifting shimmer. Now, in my mind, I remember this being a lot more sheer than it was. Like, I remember it being too sheer for me to want to wear it on its own. I thought I remember like nail line showing and all that stuff. And then one of the times that I filmed this video and tried to edit it, I had pulled up my swatch photo of this on its own and it wasn't sheer at all. And I don't know why I remembered it being sheer, but I'm starting to think that this entire like layering process was unnecessary because it was only started because I thought it was sheer. It still turned out really good though. So thinking that this was too sheer to wear on its own, I decided to put it over Orly's Glowstick, which is like the best neon yellow ever. But it is one of those neon yellows that looks terrible on its own and needs to be layered over white. So I ended up putting it over this Rika Polish Whiteout. This isn't available anymore either. You could put it over any white. I choose this one when I do anything that like needs a white base because this is a stamping polish. It's pretty thick, but because of that, it's pretty opaque. I don't like it on its own. Like, I wouldn't wear this as just a white polish on its own because it can be pretty uneven, but when you're layering things over it, it smooths out. This combination of Colors by Llarowe Radioactive, Orly Glowstick, and Rika Polish Whiteout was my absolute favorite manicure that I wore in March, and I would have recreated it already if it didn't take so much time. Now, while you can't get this one anymore, I have been seeing a Cirque Colors shade being advertised like on Instagram and stuff that does look very close to this, but I just went to the website and that is sold out, and then I went to their Instagram page and it looks like that was the final restock. Maybe they'll restock it again, I'm not really sure. I don't know exactly how that compares to this one because I don't have high society. That sucks that that's sold out right now when it's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that's close to this, but maybe you'll get lucky. Might be worth keeping an eye open for the Cirque version. So moving on to my April polishes. There are not as many. I actually don't think I wore polish at all for the first like 2.5 weeks of April. So I squeezed the rest of these into the last week and a half. So this first polish is Essie Summer Solstice. I really liked how this looked on my nails, which shouldn't surprise me because it's a pastel color and I always like lean towards the pastels. But I just didn't expect to like a pastel yellow as much as I really liked this one. I ordered this from overseas. This is from the Midsummer collection from last year that was released in Scandinavia. I think a couple of years in a row there's been a Midsummer collection that's been released only in that part of the world. But this is the first one that I actually managed to get my hands on because it's an Essie yellow and I need all the Essie yellows. But really, really liked how this one looked on my nails. I'm sure you can find comparable pastel yellow shades. There really wasn't anything particularly special about this one. It's just the first one that I grabbed. The next one that I wore is OPI Sailing and Nailing. I think this should be fairly readily available. Yeah, it looks like there's some third-party sellers and eBay, and maybe this Amazon link is actually good. No, it's not. Third-party sellers and eBay that you might be able to find this one on if you're really after it. It's just a lighter baby blue? I don't know. But I really, really like this. This is like my comfort zone polish. I've already talked about this shade in the March polishes, so this shouldn't be too surprising. So the next one that I have is from Cirque Colors. This is Game Over. They do a neon collection every year. This is from one of their neon collections. Probably a couple of years ago. I don't remember exactly. Let me see if this is still available. This is still available on the Cirque Colors website, so I will link that down below. This is a neon orange, but it's like very, very close to being red to me, so it's like almost neon red. It's a lot like Ready to Rave from China Glaze. I love that polish and I almost couldn't think of the name of it. Ready to Rave from China Glaze is maybe a little bit less red than this one, but they're close. I wore this because I wanted something that would be blacklight reflective. My husband's birthday was at the end of April, and I took him laser bowling in our living room. I did the best I could to make the living room look like a laser bowling alley. So I had like one black light and a lava lamp and some Christmas lights, and I like colored black light posters with highlighters and stuff. And I took this in my windowless bathroom with my black light to check and make sure it was black light reflective. And it was. And I'm really impressed at how well that little black light did in the living room, because like things were glowing from across the room. It was pretty cool. But then we got the Wii out and we Wii bowled and ordered pizza, and that was our laser bowling date. So that is Cirque Colors Game Over. The next one that I wore is Deborah Lippmann's Naked, and it does look like this is still available. It might be in the Gel Lab Pro formula now. This is an older bottle. This is like the regular polish formula. But I'm kind of hoping that the Gel Lab Pro formula will be a little bit better, because this was like way more thin and sheer than I remember it being. It's older, so I feel like that makes sense. I feel like that was more the norm for polishes like 10 years ago. But I was like surprised at how thin it was. If I wasn't so morally opposed to a fourth coat, I might have done a fourth coat on this. It also came off a lot more cool than I remember, because I remember this being like my mannequin hands nude, and I loved it so much and it was perfect. And I just felt it came off a little bit cool on my nails, but I still liked it. It wasn't like I thought it looked bad when it was on. It's just kind of jarring, because that was not at all how my memory of this polish was. And the last polish that I wore in April is this Nails Ink polish in Hot Fuzz. This is from their like peach duo. There was a darker one and a lighter one. My husband, this is when I started asking my husband what color polishes I should wear, was the last polish for April, and he said peach, and I like brought a bunch of polishes out and had him pick what he thought was like the most peach of all of them, which ended up being this one. It's not my color. Actually, like none of the polishes that he's been picking have been my color, but I've been wearing them anyway. I didn't love this on my nails. I don't like the brighter oranges, the brighter reds, the hot pinks. Like, even though I've worn a few and I'm trying to like step out of my comfort zone, but I just never really like how those look on my nails. And this was not an exception. This is also scented. I put my top coat on this like way too soon for it to have dried enough for you to smell it, for me to smell it. Scented polishes have to be dry or else they just smell like nail polish. So I couldn't tell you if it actually smells like peaches or not. Probably not, but who knows. So this is from the Kiss My Peach duo, which looks like it is still available on the Sephora website. But warning, the box is like fuzzy and like faux velvety, so if that touching that stuff like it does to me, then just be warned. But that is Nails Ink Hot Fuzz. So those are the polishes that I wore in March and April. I'll have everything that I think needs to be linked down below. Some of those might just take a bit of Googling to find like a good source for them. So hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.